So I have a great question for you. Where does happiness come from? But the happiness that one can feel comes from a single thing, actually. It comes from an epiphany. One single epiphany that maybe by the end of this video, you can reflect on. And I'm actually going to throw this wonderful acronym in here. Let's see if I'm gonna just sit here. Maybe if they move, you'll see them. But this wonderful little acronym, you are, and then that's you as in yourself, are, A-R-E. So that is accept, reflect, and embrace who you are. Who you are. Now, when you are doing that, you then become I am, and I'm not saying me, I'm saying you, but you become I am. So for instance, when people say to me on any given day, hey Sean, how you doing? I'll say, I am fantastic, or I am awesome, or, you know, some such whatever. You know, and the funny thing is I am. You know, the epiphany, as you'll find out through the end of this video, and is that every morning you have a decision that is, what's today gonna bring for me? Is it gonna be, oh, I gotta work? You know what? My work has this fantastic exercise program in it. I get to lift weights. I get to walk. I'm on my feet all day. So let's see, how should I put this? The internal mechanism in my skull says, you know, behind all of this. Anyway, the internal mechanism in my brain says, it's going to be a great day. And then I decide that that's the way it's going to be. You could probably hear them back there. I don't know if you can see them, but I can hear them. They're awesome. So here we are. It comes to a place like this. And I haven't been actually to this part of this before. I've been up on the ridge over here. But places like this, it's a moment in time. It fills my soul. Being out in nature, being where I can hear all these birds, and being where the clouds are beautiful. Let's see, how far do I have to go? Oh, there we go. Where there's just clouds there. How was that for a cool shot? Anyway, there's all kinds of little moments in our lives that just bring us joy. And for those of you who are parents, you'll probably understand this better than some who are not, unless you're a favorite aunt or uncle or something like that. But the laughter of a child, especially if it's your child, big old belly laughs. I still, and my children are well into their 20s, I still hear big old belly laughs. In that tiny little voice that they used to have. I still have memories of one of my tiny people walking around the kitchen in his walker, waving his arms, going, robble, 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 robble. You know, just moments in time. There's other moments that you can simply capture. I mean, for instance, just a few nights ago, I had this moment where, oh, dang it, I'm not wearing my microphone. I'm going to put on my microphone. We're going to see how the rest of this video goes when I have my microphone. But first, I'm going to finish this thought. So I had this moment where I'm sitting on the couch, sort of cuddled by Robin, because there was this beautiful black boy between us, laying at our hips. And then, of course, Jasmine right in front of me. And we were just looking into each other's eyes. I know we do that. We're like that. So anyway, her brilliant blue eyes. And I simply said, as I circled my arm around us, I said, this moment. And there's just these moments of happiness that just fill your soul. Being in nature, enjoying your kids, enjoying your spouse, your babies, in our case, our fur babies. Now, okay, you know what? I am gonna put on my microphone so I can see how the difference is live, in person, in a video. I meant to do this a while ago, but I am who I am. Okay, hold on. Okay, microphone's in. Hopefully the sound is better. I don't know, if I'm wearing my shirt right, you see it? I don't know. Hopefully it's better. Because, I do appreciate, that if I'm going to share some of this, that at least you can hear me somewhat clearly. I'm sneaking up on that Canadian goose now. We'll see if it sees me. Actually, I'm going to pause a minute just because I'm going to do a photographic moment. I'm sorry, it's who I am. Hold on, please. So where was I? Let's see. Moments of joy. And I am so, all the time, distracted by not just my dogs, as I mentioned in my last video, but moments of joy. Just flowers, streams, I'm okay. Anything natural, really. Trees, just all the how does a flower grow, how does the bud, just all these amazing, wonderful questions of life. So anyway, I have been severely distracted by my surroundings, and it lends itself to this video because where I'm at. I mean, moments like this just bring me so much joy. And throughout your lives, and this is where that whole, gray hair wisdom stuff comes in. Throughout your lives, you develop a lot of these moments that you can draw on if you choose to be happy. And here's the epiphany part of that statement that I was talking about. A single, not a whole number of steps, not a whole number of reasons why. There's no, there are 7 principles according to Sean Aker. There might be 10 steps according to someone else. There might be a number of reasons why. But how you find happiness, it's an epiphany. A single epiphany, which maybe by the end of this video, if you accept, reflect, and embrace who you are and what I'm saying in this video, you too can find happiness and joy. There, okay, is that better, Sean? That's better, Sean. The sun should not be directly in your subject's eye. I learned this when I'm, as a photographer on the other side of the camera. However, you're well lit this way. You just have squinty subjects, and I don't like squinting. But yeah, just the surroundings. Oh my gosh. I tell you what. This is living right here. And that's the, oh, yeah, you don't want the sun behind you either because you blind everybody else too. How rude of me. But the epiphany is simply to decide, you know what? I'm going to be happy today. I'm going to be awesome today. I'm going to be fantastic today. You know, there are times when, you know, again, in the normal course of conversation, somebody says, how are you today? Often I'll say, peachy. And sometimes I'll say, peachy. And it's kind of like I am Groot, right? And one of my friends the other day, he said, how are you today? And I said, peachy. And he says, uh-oh, tell me what's wrong. So it's that whole I am Groot principle. You know who I'm talking about if you've ever watched, you know, those Marvel, I think it's Marvel, movies. Anyway, I am Groot. So you can say a billion things with those three words. For me, peachy kind of works the same way. I am absolutely peachy. Peachy keen this morning. And it's just, as I'm making this video, I put myself in the perfect spot for it because truly where I'm at with all of this water reflections, remember, acronym, ARE, reflections literally and metaphorically as I stand here at Golden Pond, on Golden Pond, oh yeah, there was a movie, just enjoying my surroundings, loving life, and loving who I am. And that's another important thing about being happy is you know, and all kinds of things factor in. One of the happiest places on earth, they talk about people. People want to be around people they like. People want to be around. Maybe you don't feel like you're likable. It's probably because you haven't decided you want to be likable. Look at Eeyore, for instance. I mean, we got this donkey that, well, it's not much of a tail, but it's mine. And that's the way some people just are. By geese, they're flying away. They made quite a splash in their exit. How beautiful. But that's the way some people are. And some people can grow up into being crotchety old farts. And I can use that either way. Farts could be a woman, it could be a guy, but they've decided that, you know, it served them well to keep people at a distance. But recently, as I'm knowing that I'm going to make this video about happiness, I watched this video about the happiest countries in the world. And consistently, the Scandinavian countries are ranked the happiest countries in the world. And there's a number of factors, but one of the main factors that I noticed is that, and again, this was one of those where they had 10 principles. Or no, not 10 principles. It was 10 reasons why the Scandinavian countries, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, one of it was that they are a much more social country. They are almost mandated to take breaks during their workday to go and hang with their buddies, to hang with the other people around, to be social. They are rewarded to sit down and simply be themselves with other people. And you know, it's just one of those things that if you've ever been in a small town and you know that everybody knows what everybody else is doing and how everybody else is, there's a certain community that goes along with that, we'll call it social group. You know, and you can let your hair down a little bit and be a little more yourself. And that, I think, is key, is just being yourself, embracing who you are and being yourself. The other thing, as far as social responsibility, is random acts of kindness. I tell you what, the more joy and happiness you're able to emit and give away, it's so weird, but it actually comes right back to you. The more joy and happiness, at least the joy and happiness I feel like I give away. And this is just a greeting. This is me saying, hey, how are you today? I'm good. How are you? I am fantastic. And immediately, when you say that response, that person kind of lights up a little bit. And it's like, geez, maybe I should have answered that I'm awesome too. And it gets somebody else thinking, geez, I really am awesome. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But that's what I like to think. That's what I like to talk myself into, because I notice when I answer somebody like that, it puts that greeting, or that, not that greeting, it puts that feeling in their mind that, yeah, I could be awesome too. Okay, I can accept that. So yeah, try that next time. Just, when somebody asks you, I am awesome. I am fantastic. So where can you find happiness? I think it's in my happy place. Right now, my happy place is this beautiful area where I've selected. I don't think this thing even has a name, or it's just this little pond in the middle of nowhere. And right now, this is my happy place. I'm going to take this moment and probably draw on it, in another couple of days, or in another week, probably in a year, because I said, this is a moment. And I know how I feel in this moment. And part of it, believe it or not, is sharing with you. And one of the things that gives me much joy in this world is sharing with other people and hopefully lifting their spirits. If you're watching this video, how do I ever find happiness? Because, my life sucks so bad. Oh my gosh, that bird flew by and it was like literally reaching. Squirrel distractions. Anyway, if you're that person, you know what? We all have those moments. I have those moments. I have those moments that I wallow in. And I understand that I'm wallowing in it. And I know that the next day or the next week or something is going to be better, because life happens. And sometimes life sucks. And you can't always be happy. In fact, I would encourage that you're not always happy, because then you're just fooling everybody, you're fooling yourself, and you're not being authentic, and you're not being honest. When you have those moments, they happen. And you're going to be angry, you're going to be frustrated, you're going to be sad. Things happen. But that's the thing. You look at it, you acknowledge it, you embrace it. And eventually, the sun comes out again. See? I don't know if you can see that or not, but this is an absolutely horrid place to do a video from, because, now all you get is my silhouette shadow. We all have that shadow self, don't we? Which is the point I'm making. We all have those moments where life isn't so grand and it's not so wonderful, but the sun will come out again. And we remember these moments to try to help lift us out of that cloud. And, for me, this is just one of many, many moments. And you'll understand that if you happen to be a younger person. If you're an older person, you already know. This is one of those things where you just develop a treasure trove of moments on which to draw, that can lift you out of a funky mood, if you want to allow yourself to be lifted out of that funky mood. And one of those things, and this might be why they have those groups that we all feel terrible. Misery loves company. So they have, for addicts or other things, groups. Because when you're sharing, sharing is caring. Caring is feeling better about yourself. And sharing is giving. And it's like I said a little while ago, the more you give, the more you get. And that's the really amazing thing about random acts of kindness. You might think it's for somebody else, but actually you're helping yourself too. And that's what I love about helping other people. That's what I love about making a video like this. I hope it makes sense to some people, because it is an epiphany. It is a decision. That's all you got to do to garner happiness, is decide, what is today going to be? Is it going to be great? Am I going to get up at whatever time I got up this morning, but then again, I get up that time. Am I going to get up in the morning and decide that I'm going to go make this video so that other people can see that life is grand? Sometimes life is life, but life is also grand. And I'm actually going to go back. I'm going to circle back for a moment, because my happy place sometimes is a rocking chair with a coffee or a beer in my hand. And you know what? Sometimes it's sitting on a log watching a sunset. I absolutely love sunsets. I love sunrises too. There it is. And my brother came the other day and he said, well, how do you watch a sunrise from here? And I says, well, we sit on the back porch, because my back porch faces west, so sunsets all the time. But you sit on the back porch and you watch things get light. I mean, you don't have to stare into the face of the sun, because really it's kind of painful, you know? And anyway, I'm going to end on that note, because the answer to that question, where can you find your happiness? Where can I find my happiness? It's in all these little moments. It's in your decision in the morning. It's in your decision in the middle of the day. I've had a crappy morning. You know, a day can be made up of crappy moments if you allow them. I can't believe that spilled all over me. I can't believe I bumped into that thing. I can't believe I wrenched my ankle on that. You can just pain yourself through an entire day. It's one of those days. Oh my gosh. And you know, some days are like that. Sometimes they're just like that because you're acknowledging the negative things that happen in that day. And that might be part of that time when you want to just wallow and say, this life sucks, you know, and mean it. But then again, you think, oh no, it doesn't really suck. I'm just having a bad day. And we're allowed that. So happiness. Find your happy place. You probably have 100 of them. Some of you know it. Maybe some of you aren't sure about that yet. But they're out there. All these little moments. So many things that can bring you joy if you allow it. Could be a windstorm. Some of us love watching downpours of rain. Rainy days and Mondays always get me down. And that's if you allow it. Rainy days, man, they bring life to everything. Dance in the rain. Those pluviophiles, you know them. Pluviophile, that's to dance in the rain. Some people love it. Some people understand that it's essential to life. Some people, I'm going to get my clothes wet. Oh no, I got to get from my car all the way to the inside of the building. How am I going to do that without getting wet? I know, it's just rain. So, Embrace it. Mondays, well, if you work all weekend and you have Monday off, great. If you're a Monday to Friday worker, yeah, learn to appreciate the fact that, in my case, your job is your exercise. It's your exercise program. They actually pay me to become fit. I lift, I pull, I'm on my feet all day, but it's my exercise program. So it's a matter of perspective sometimes, Your happy place might not be at work, but you can choose how you view it. And work is my place where I get my exercise, where I run into people that I can say, "How are you?" and find out that some of them respond with, "I'm awesome," or "I'm fantastic." And for me, that just fills my soul too. So remember that. Allow them to be fantastic. Allow yourself to be fantastic or awesome, and be awesome. And for now, Sean going rogue, part of the Evolving Homequist crew, loving life. Have a great day.